Hello and welcome to a new reverb comparison. This is part 2. At part 1, I had less plugins. There's been missing Breeze 2 and Lexicon Suite and some other things. And some people told me, please try to do it with Valhalla Room and Breeze and so on. And at part 1, I had 2 plugins missing in here. These are Cinematic Rooms and Seventh Heaven, both by Liquid Sonics. I love Cinematic Rooms. This is the newest reverb, but the demo time is over, so I can't try it anymore. I guess it's been 2 weeks, but I loved Cinematic Rooms. Great sound, great plugin. I guess it needs CPU at the middle, not a lot, but not very low CPU power, so it's okay. The sound is fantastic. So what did I do here? I try the Phoenix by Exponential Audio, now by Isotope. Next is Breeze by 2C. And then we have 3 Lexicon plugins. Lexicon at the Lexicon Suite. Then Universal Audio, Lexicon 224, and the Lexicon 480L. Next is Native Instruments, Realm, Valhalla DSP, the Valhalla Vintage Verb, Valhalla Room, and we got FabFilter Pro-R, and at last the built-in reverb by Revelation, Steinberg in Cubase, Large Hall Natural is it called, and I modified most of the plugins. Okay, so we got 2 versions. We got piano, this is always 3 seconds, and we got strings, the halftime, 1.45 seconds. And for checking how much CPU does the plugins used, I created an audio file, inserted each plugin, and then doubled it. So at one project, I just had 20 audio tracks, just playing audio files, no instruments, and included 20 times the Phoenix and then 20 times Breeze. And so I could check, okay, how much CPU will be used when I got a big project. Okay, so let's have a look how it sounds. We start with the piano and Phoenix. It's a nice reverb. I love it, and I guess the developer developed the lexicon or some of the lexicon algorithms. Not really sure, but I guess I heard about it. So next is Breeze. And let's compare Phoenix to Breeze. So for me, Breeze sounds a little bit more than a cloud. And I try to reduce the time and the mix settings, perhaps the high cut. Yeah, so it's a little bit more brilliant. Let's reduce the high frequencies. Yeah, I guess now we are very similar. What I really love in the Breeze 2 is nothing about the sound. It's about the interface, because when that's been wrong. When I go to Breeze, and now we double this one. So let's say we got 2 instances of Breeze and or 5, because we want to have the same reverb for violin 1, violin 2, viola, cello, basses, and let's say for ensembles. So 6 instances, and you want to change something, the time, the size. You're going to do it 6 times. Not in here. Just go to group 1. Here we do the same, group 1. And when I change something, it will be changed at all groups. And this is awesome. I don't know any other plugin, Reverb plugin, that can do this. So you can save a lot of time. Okay, so next is the Lexicon Suite. Very soft. And let's go to the next one, the Universal Audio Lexicon 224. Okay, let's compare to the suite. Great. And now the master, the Universal Audio Lexicon 480L. So here, just load in large hall and you got it. You can just change the reverb time or sound things, but this is great because you load in a large hall, the first preset, and it works great. So now they sound very similar. But I had to change some settings in here and modify it to have the same sound, because at first it sounded a little bit muddy, and then I changed something. Now it sounds very great. So they both got a great feature because they don't need the CPU of your computer. They are calculated at the DSP of Universal Audio. So this needs less CPU, and the big difference is I can use this time this plugin, I guess 20 times or more than 20, and the Lexicon, I guess 5 times, 4 times. So it's not enough for me. It needs more power of the Universal Audio DSP, and I got a Universal Audio quad card, and I guess for this I have to buy 2 octa cards, and this is too much. And this sounds awesome, needs less CPU of the PC, can load 20 instances, and works great and sounds great. So next is Native Instruments Brown. This reverb is free and is great. You can use it for instrumental music, but it's not created for real rooms, and it needs a lot of CPU. It needs more CPU than other rooms, so it's okay, it's free and sounds great, but it's not the first choice for having a CPU-friendly plugin. And let's compare it to the Lexicon. And the round sounds a little more harsh. Let's reduce the high cut. Next, we got the great team of Valhalla DSP, Valhalla Vintage Verb, and Valhalla Room. It's funny because at the Vintage Verb, you see I got the mix set to 24% and at the Room to 16%. And the Room sounds a little more bright, so perhaps we can change the high cut. It's a little difference. The Vintage sounds more I guess the Vintage Verb sounds more smooth to me, not as harsh as the Room. And the Room can sound very bright. So in here we got two plugins that are used by JunkXL2. This is the Valhalla Room and the Lexicon 224. I guess he uses the Lexicon for orchestral sounds and Valhalla Room for other sounds, let's say some synth sounds and so on. And he uses sometimes decay time for 12 seconds. So let's try it here, 12 seconds. This one. Yeah, I guess this is not an orchestral reverb, so we go back. Okay, so let's compare both to Lexicon. Sound more bright, so perhaps I can use more high cut, but they all sound great. Now we got the FabFilter Pro-R. I like it. Perhaps I reduce the mix. And you see, you got a lot of possibilities to work at your sound. Okay, so I like this one, but it needs a lot of CPU. So I guess I won't use it at my orchestral template. And now we got the built-in reverb, Revelation by Steinberg in Cubase and no endo. And it sounds sounds very similar. So I guess the Lexicon sounds a little more natural. So it doesn't sound bad, and it needs less CPU. Sometimes it's very difficult to find the right settings because you see we don't have the decay time. We have main time from 1 to 100%. That's crazy. Here we got the room size, and I had to reduce the high cut. So now it sounds like the Lexicon. Now I turn up the high cut up. So it's very easy to find the right settings. Yes, and this can be a great choice to use reverb that needs less CPU. Great. So this has been all the long reverbs, and when you want to have a really, really long reverb, I like to use the Blackhole by Eventide. Awesome, but I never use it for orchestral sounds. Orchestral sounds. Now we got the strings, and here I reduced the decay time from 3 seconds to the half. So here we got 1.45. Okay, so let's see what I play. And here we got the cinematic studio strings. And this is the dry sound. And the reverb. This one is very long. Okay, now. It's a little bit more brighter, yeah, but I guess we can change the sound in a lot of ways, and it sounds great. Lexicon Suite. Universal Audio. $480. And let's compare both versions. This is great. Okay, now we got the roam. And let's compare the short one to the Lexicon. It seems that the roam by Native Instruments is a little bit more noisy at the top. Just a small one, but it is a great sounding reverb. Okay, Valhalla. Sounds great. Okay. The room is a little bit more brighter, and we can change the settings here and here and reduce the decay time. Both great sounding reverbs. No question. And the last one, Revelation by Steinberg. Okay, let's compare them. So these are great sounding reverbs. What one will I choose? I will choose the Lexicon because it's a Lexicon. It sounds great. It needs no CPU of your own computer. It just needs DSP power by Universal Audio. And I can open, I guess, 20 instances or more of them. The next reverb could be the Revelation because it needs less CPU power, but I guess it's sometimes it's difficult to handle. And what I really like at the Breeze is working with the groups. I hope other developer will include this feature too. Yeah, and I will do this one. It sounds great. I modified it. JunkXL is using it too. And this will be my choice. But I'm very happy that there are so many other great plugins that need less CPU, and none of them sounds really bad. So you can choose anything. You just have to use the right settings. Okay, so what is your opinion? What is your favorite plugin depending on the CPU power? What kind of sound do you like most? Do you have some hidden features or some plugins I didn't include here, and you say this plugin has an awesome sound and this plugin needs less CPU? So just leave me a comment. I would be very happy about every thumb up, and don't forget to subscribe the channel so you won't miss any new episode. See you the next time.